Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today for what will be episode -10, Banghead Financial. I'm, of course, Greg Guy, joined here by Casey. Good news to start off. It seems like, particularly, markets and everything are starting to come back alive. So that's always good news.
Right.
Seems like people get more confident. So we'll see what happens for quarter two. Because quarter one ended, on the 31st. So, hopefully good things to come. First particular bit of news here this week. Apple Pay is talking about accepting or, starting to use Bitcoin as a payment method or option in their service. So, that would be. I think Apple Pay is probably actually third behind Visa and MasterCard in the most used payment methods options.
I would think that PayPal would be above Apple, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't use any of them. I just use credit card.
I don't know if PayPal falls into that category because. I'd have to do a little more research on that. That's actually a good point. I would think PayPal would be up there as well.
Right.
But the thing is okay. This is the idea I had. What if Apple Pay, they start doing this, and then obviously they're going to have some sort of transaction fee. I would have to assume.
I'm sure it's the same as a credit card company.
Exactly. Okay, so what if they start collecting that in Bitcoin? And I'm sure if the Bitcoin experiment works, they will, diversify into other types of cryptos for payments and whatnot. What would it be to stop them from, just basically turning into an exchange? It was just a random thought I had. So
they could, I guess, but I'm sure there's a lot of legal.
I'm sure
to go along with that, and I'm not sure I'm sure they make more than enough money off other things that they do that they don't really need to get into that. But then again, sometimes enough just isn't enough for everybody, and they just want to dive into all other segments.
Yeah, it's capitalism.
Right. Right.
Who's got the most money?
Yep.
I don't know. That was just like I said, that was kind of just like a off the wall thought that I had.
Right.
What if? I don't know what kind of regulatory hurdles or anything that they would have to jump through to actually become an exchange, but
I personally think that this is probably I don't know how you or other people feel about it, but I think all these companies that diversify into multiple things, for example, like a Google, where they have the search engine, they have the ads, they control the ads, they have YouTube, they have so many other things.
And when I was doing my research, Google Pay is actually number 4.
Right, that was Google Pay. I personally believe that at some point they're kind of like the companies are getting too big, and you know that term they say that a company is too big to fail.
I might have heard that a couple times in 2008.
Well, personally, in my belief, if a company is too big to fail, it's time to break that company up. What was the Bell company back in the day, and then they had the oil and steel companies back in the day.
Carnegie, Rockefeller, and
right, and they broke all those companies up. Basically, they controlled so much of the market share that they were making it impossible for
And they could just charge what they wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And there wasn't anything anybody could do about it.
Turn it into monopolies.
Right.
You know? and not just on one particular product, but on a wide variety of products.
Right.
So, I mean, yes, I do kind of agree with that. That is a problem.
I feel like as soon as you say that a company is too big to fail, it's time to break that company up.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that assessment. Other news coming through this week on the financial front. Apparently, Tesla and GameStop are discussing potential stock splits for their shareholders. Now, realistically, I just think that it creates an easier barrier of entry, psychologically, for an investor who wants to, invest in these companies.
Right.
What it's, going to do for price, who knows? Also, well, that's going to depend on the whether it's like a 5-to-1 split, which is, I think, is the number I heard for like GameStop. Haven't heard a number on Tesla yet. But, I mean, realistically, basically, if you have one Tesla stock, and let's say it's a 5-to-1 split, now you have 5 Tesla stocks, but the market valuation goes down by whatever that is, a factor of 5.
Right.
Because the market cap stays the same when this happens. Supply and demand, basically. I also believe that somewhere, at some point in time in this process, someone is making some money.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, companies don't normally do stuff like this unless someone somewhere is getting paid.
Right.
In my opinion. So, any thoughts on stock splits? Do you have any insight?
I don't fully understand the stock split, so I don't want to
comment.
Really comment on it.
Okay, I mean that's fair.
I'm sure there's a lot along with other things. I'm sure there's more to it than
I mean I don't know a whole lot. I mean, like I said, I'm not a big stock guy.
Right.
I'm more geared to learn and be more knowledgeable in the crypto space in particular.
Right.
General finance stuff, but yeah, the stock market always just seemed like a shady enterprise to me.
Right.
So it's not where I throw my support.
Right.
The only other bit of news this particular week is Russia. They have apparently, they either announced or they already are back on the gold standard. And apparently it has, saw a boom in, the market valuation of the ruble. So
I think, so I don't know if I seriously doubt that Russia has the gold to back up their currency.
yeah, I agree that, with that assessment as well.
Another thing is that Russia has, I think it was supposedly today that they said that Europe has to, European markets have to create Russian bank accounts and pay Russia for oil in rubles.
Yeah, that was going to be the second part of this conversation.
Okay. So I think that has.
But yeah, that
would have more to do.
That is a huge thing. There would be,
right.
And on top of that, they had to create a bank account in one bank. They only had one banking option to create an account, which you kind of got to assume is basically state run.
Right. And then, honestly, this is the problem, in my opinion.
With energy dependence.
Well, energy dependence, but with globalism in general. You have to, if you want to be independent, then you have to be able to, and basically the world goes around on energy. Energy is the number one indicator of wealth in almost every single country in the world. Apart from Europe, I don't know I don't honestly understand how the European market works all that well, but anywhere else in the world, you have America, or the United States creates energy, or at least runs energy markets. You have Russia is basically wealthy off oil and energy products. You have China is the same. They create a lot of their own energy, including every single lithium-ion battery in the world has lithium-ion, generally probably from China.
Actually, South America is a large producer. Of
South America does it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, like I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that they are the #1 producer of lithium in the world.
China?
South America.
South America? Okay,
the continent.
Okay, that's possible. Then you got.
However, it gets shipped to China and they turn them into lithium-ion batteries.
Most of the energy coming from China is in human labor, though.
Yeah. That's more or less it.
Yeah,
China gets all this stuff in, and they, use their cheap labor to turn it into products, which they then sell.
That is
at a lower rate than anyone else can produce.
That is basically a form of energy, human energy. So.
That's right. I've seen The Matrix.
Yep, the whole world goes around on energy in some form or another.
Yeah, well, there we go. That's basically what's happened this week. Kind of a slow week.
Right.
Couple interesting things happened, but it's what it is. There you go. We'll just go ahead and end it there. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm, of course, Gregor Guy, joined here by Casey, and thank you for watching.